Okay.
Live on Facebook.
All right. All set here, and we'll give it a whirl. Here
Let's
we go,
do it.
Jameson.
Let's do
Okay. All right. There we go. And we're all set. Here we go. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Get Real with Real Estate here on KWAG 106. I'm Jack Wobble. Joining me is Jameson Melby from RE/MAX Results. Jameson, how are you?
Good, Jack. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, A-OK. We're into almost mid-February. We want to let folks know next Wednesday is Valentine's Day.
It
so
is.
there you go for that special someone in your life. We fired the opening shot, so now the rest is up to you.
Right.
That's right. So Jameson, we'll get fired up here on the show today and get rolling. And one thing we want to know is, okay, if you're looking to get your home ready for the market, how much work needs to be done to my house before I put it on the market?
Well, here's the deal, is you really need a realtor, preferably Jameson Melby with RE/MAX, to come take a look at your house, because every single house is unique, as you can imagine. I walk into some that need $20,000, $30,000 worth of work before it's acceptable to put on the market. Some we walk in, there's absolutely nothing that needs to be done. I would say the common issues are just decluttering, packing, cleaning the house, things like that. Maybe toning down, if there's a loud color in a bedroom or something, one of the kids' rooms, maybe toning that down a little bit. But typically it's not as much work as people think. They're usually pretty surprised in what little work they need to do to put their house on the market.
Here's a big one, Jameson. How much is my house worth? I'm sure you've heard that a million times.
Yeah, your house specifically, not sure, Jack, but no, the general public here, what I would need to do is come out to their house and give them a comparative market analysis. So what that is, we take a walk through the house, you tell me any upgrades you've done since you purchased the home, and then I look at the comparable properties that are close to your house in age, square feet, location, lot size, things like that. And then we look at houses that have sold in the last 6 months, and then we look at the houses that are currently active that your house would need to beat out to get an offer. So that's how we come up with the price, and then we put it in a form that we send you that has like I said, the comps listed, so you can see the data for yourself as far as the square feet, year built, things like that. And then really we can get very close to what it should list for and what it should sell for. And like I said, I want to arm you with the data, because if I tell you a price without giving you anything to back it up, that's not very good. Anytime I give you a price, I want you to feel that we're on the same page with the price. So if you say your house is worth X, but that's not really the case, you can see it firsthand, and then we make an educated decision on what to list it for.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just thinking in the case of our home, Jameson, as far as the selling point would be, our house, there's a big park right back behind our house. So it's almost like having another backyard without really having that backyard to take care of, So yeah, there are certain things. You're right. Every single home is definitely unique. So another big question, certainly, how long will it take to sell my home?
Well, that's a big question. So the closer you are to the median sale price in your town, in your zip code, the faster the house will sell. So the further you get away from that, on the high side, it's going to take longer for the house to sell. And if it's lower than that and it's in good condition, there's a good chance that house will sell immediately. We have a lot of first-time home buyers out there looking between 100 to 160,000. There is not a lot of inventory that would pass a USDA loan, FHA, VA, things like that. So if you're looking to sell a house and you're in that price range, it could sell in under a week. If you're around that median sale price, again, I'm not going to be community specific here, but around that median price for your community, it'll sell very quick. If it's double or triple the median sale price, then you're going to be sitting for a little bit of a longer time to get that house sold.
All right, very good. Now, we've talked about staging before, but for folks who are maybe tuning into the show for the first time, staging, what is it, and is it really important?
Okay, so like I said, one of my commission packages, I have a stager that comes and gives a consultation, gives you a room-by-room list on things you should do to prepare your house for sale. So that is decluttering, rearranging furniture, taking furniture out of a room, maybe hanging a couple pictures, to give it a little bit of a nicer look and make the room look bigger. So why we do that is we have stats that houses staged sell 88% faster than houses that aren't, and they sell for more money. And that kind of is market specific, but that could be anywhere from 10 to 20% more on the sale of your home. So is it worth staging? Of course. It is always, always, always worth staging your house.
All right, good advice there, Jameson. Part 2 is coming up, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, folks. For Jameson Melby, this is Action Jack Lovell. Our program is called Get Real with Real Estate. Jameson with RE/MAX Results. Yours truly, Action Jack Lovell here on KWADE 106, and we're back in just a moment.
All right. All right, folks, part 2 coming up.
Wow, that's some great stats as far as the staging is concerned.
Oh, man, yeah.
That's tremendous.
Professional photos, houses
Yeah.
sell for more money.
Yeah.
You know, having a home warranty on, they sell for more money, so there's a lot of reasons why
Yeah.
we do what we do.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, part 2, here we go. All right. It's part 2 of today's edition of Get Real with Real Estate here on KWADE 106. This is Jack Lovell. Once again, along with me, Jameson Melby from RE/MAX Results. Here's the second half of our show here for this Saturday. So, Jameson, we'll get cooking on part 2.
Yeah, let's do it.
And here it is, another one that you may hear from time to time. Should I be present when buyers view my house? I think I know what you're going to say.
Okay, short answer, no. Long answer, the reason why it's not wise to be there is sellers will typically talk a buyer out of buying their house. When we show a house, we're not emotionally invested in the property, and we know what we need to do to get that house sold. Now, what happens is, and this is a perfect example, there was a house in the country that I had buyers that was the only house they wanted to see. They were going to buy that house. And the seller would not leave when we were there, followed us around the whole time, telling us every single little tidbit about that house, telling us about what his kid did here, and all of these things. And then by the time we were done, guess what happened? They didn't buy the house.
Right, right.
A reason for that is really, they could not picture themselves in the house. One thing I talk about when it comes to staging is taking down your personal photos, portraits of your family, pictures of your kids. You love those, but when people see that in the house, it makes it harder to visualize themselves there. This guy was by our side the whole time, telling us every single thing that happened the last 30 years in that property. They were freaked out. They thought the guy was going to come back later and want to hang out, all sorts of things. So it's a horrible idea. Now, sellers will say, but nobody knows this house like I do. Okay, great. Leave me a list of details that I need to know to be able to tell somebody and leave. That's the best thing you can do. We're not being mean. It works against you. They think it works in their favor, and it certainly does not. That's the reason why you do not want to be there for buyers viewing, or especially for open houses.
I have to say this, Jameson. I mean, I can go to a state tournament and announce a basketball or hockey game with 10 or 12,000 people. There is no way I'm going to be in a house when people are going. So I'd be nervous as heck. So yes, you're absolutely right.
And another thing too to touch on is that buyers are not objective about the property if a seller is sitting right there. They're not going to talk about the colors are terrible or things that they would normally want to have a discussion about. And what happens is the showings are cut short by about a third of the time. They're not into it. I don't know if I've ever sold a house where the seller was actually there for the showing. It just leaves a really bad taste in their mouth. Buyers get upset when we show up and we expect there to be nobody there, and we're tricked and somebody's there. So it's not a good deal. If that's going to be the case, at least tell us. When we go to show the house, we can be mentally prepared that we're going to be in for an awkward situation.
Absolutely good advice.
Yes.
What is the agent's commission and other fees?
Well, here's the thing about that is that commission really comes down to each individual agent and individual company, what they charge. There's varying fees out there, and again, I can't get into it on the radio, what I charge specifically, but I do have several commission plans to fit your needs. So the best thing would be have me come to your house for a consultation. I can sit down and we can come up with a plan on what makes sense. I mean, if you have a buyer for your house already and I'm just doing the paperwork, that saves you a tremendous amount of money. If we do an off-market, what we call a pocket listing, and I'm marketing the house to my sphere and my buyers, again, that saves you a lot of money. So we do have options there to get your home sold fast and for top dollar.
All right, here's another one. What should I disclose to potential buyers?
That's a big thing that for sale by owners are not aware, is that in the state of Minnesota, it's required to give somebody a seller's disclosure. Oftentimes, they do not do that, and that's a big thing they miss. You have to disclose anything that you know that's wrong with the property that could affect the enjoyment and use of that property going forward. So if you, let's say your basement had some surface mold on the sheetrock and you cleaned it with bleach and you painted it, you have to disclose that. Even though you took care of it and you believe that that is in good condition now, chances are you actually have mildew behind the sheetrock, number one, so it's not really taken care of. Number two, you want to disclose that you did that, because if somebody comes and looks at your house and they see a nice clean white wall and they have no idea that there was ever mildew on there, and 6 months later surface mildew comes through, they pull that sheetrock off and the whole back of the sheetrock is black, the block is black, guess what, you're in a lawsuit. So you need to disclose anything that's wrong with the property, anything you fixed, remedied, that way they're fully aware and they can know going into this that there aren't any hidden surprises when they buy a house.
All right, good stuff. And one more here, and this is a good one, folks, all right? If you take a look at your tax bill or whatever, why is the assessed value different than what a realtor says my home is worth?
Well, here's the good answer is that communities need a certain tax base. That flat out, they do not care if markets are up or down. They need a certain dollar amount to operate year in, year out. So that's the main reason why the value is different, because as you know, our real estate market goes up and down depending on if it's spring or winter, if we have low supply, if we have an oversupply of houses, things like that. Really, that matters, and we're looking at real-time data, things that are happening fast, sales that happen, active listings that we're competing against, like I said. So we're always keeping track of what's happening day by day, versus the assessor doesn't really care that much. During the recession, we did see values go down, but then they also can calculate how they charge you. It's called a mill rate. So they can change that mill rate because, like I said, they still need a certain amount of money. If houses are worth 30% less because we're in a recession, we still need the same amount of money to operate a city. So that's why they're different. We don't put a lot of we don't put a lot of time into looking at the assessed value when we're coming up with values on houses. It's more on, like I said, the solds and the actives.
All right, good stuff, Jameson. If folks want to get in touch with you, desire more information, what do they need to do?
Yeah, you can find me on the web at jamesonmelby.com. If you're watching this on Facebook or you're on Facebook, you can type in Jameson Melby Remax. I pull up on there. And always, my cell phone number is 651-764-8933.
Good stuff, Jameson. Hey, want to wish to you and all the other folks next Wednesday a very happy Valentine's Day to the special people in your life. And we'll see you again next Saturday. Take care.
Sounds good. You too, Jack.
All right, for Jameson Melby from Remax Results, I'm Action Jack Coble. Get real with real estate here on K-Wayne 106. Have a great weekend.